So this assignment that you guys are going to do, you're going to have to find a photo from the photo database. And everybody has access to the photo database. We know that it's supposed to be secret, that it's only for our eyes or administration when they post on Royal's social media and we post on ours, because we want these pictures to be in the yearbook and to surprise people when they open up the pages. This is for you and you alone, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to find a photo, and I found one right here, and download it to your computer, okay? So that you can literally cut them out, or him or her or whoever, out of their picture. Now, one thing is their bodies are kind of cut off at the bottom. That works if you put them on the bottom of the page, right? But if you kind of put them floating, doesn't really work. So for cobs, we usually like to get like their full body in the frame of the photo, so it doesn't look like they're like decapitated or half of their torso is separated and all that kind of stuff. So, but for today, this is going to work for me. Okay, so this is just practice, and everybody's going to do this as practice today. So you're going to download that to your computer, and I have it right here on mine. Okay, if you need help, just ask a returner or ask me. I'll help you with downloading it and getting onto your computer. To open this up in Photoshop, all you have to do is take the file and drag it down onto the icon at the bottom for Photoshop. You let it go in the icon, and there it is. There's our photo, okay? Now, there are some selection tools in Photoshop that are built into Photoshop. There's this one, a marquee tool. It drags out a rectangle selection. All right, the problem with this is we'll get the background. There is no cutout. This is just a rectangle, right? That won't work for us. There's another one that's called the lasso tool. And this allows you to draw your own custom selection, which could work for us. The problem with the lasso tool is it's really clunky, and when you finally cut it out, it looks pixelated around the edges. The edges aren't really good at all. It's just lazy, right? I like to think of it like cutting out with a jagged pair of scissors. Like you have an actual photograph, and you get a pair of scissors, and you just cut. You're never going to get a really good cut, right? Imagine using, again, with that physical photograph, you know what an X-Acto knife is? Like a super precise X-Acto knife. You're going to get a much better cut, and that's the tool that I want to show you. I don't want to show you the jagged pair of scissors. I want to show you the precise one. So that tool that we're going to use is right down here. This is the pen tool, okay? It looks like an old school, like a pen, like an inkwell pen that you would use in like the 1900s or whatever. Like you dip in the inkwell and all that kind of stuff. So that's what it looks like. It looks like the tip of that old school pen, okay? Now, in order to use the pen tool and to be accurate, I want to use my zoom tool. That's right down here, this little magnifying glass. I think I showed you this before. All right, the magnifying glass, we click, we can actually zoom in on this photo, and we can get really, really close up. This is going to be key because we don't want to cut out the background at all. We just want the people. So in order to ensure that accuracy, we have to zoom in so we see what we're doing and what we're getting, right? So the zoom tool is going to help us with that. Now remember, you can zoom in as much as you want, but if you get too close, you hit the little minus sign up here at the top of the screen. It becomes a minus zoom tool, and if you click, I zoom out, okay? So that's zooming in and zooming out with the magnifying glass. Now, the pen tool. Honestly, it's just the same steps repeated over and over again. The thing that's going to trip you up is you're not going to remember these steps, so I'll go really slowly. I'll even write them down and put them on the board. So while you're working, you can just look at the board and you know what to do. The way that the pen tool works is it creates this line that goes around our people, okay? And this line is called a path. So if I click once, it's kind of like connect the dots. I made a dot right there. Do you guys see that? If I click again, it creates a line that goes in between those dots, and it's a diagonal line, and it's just connecting the dots, right? Click again, you can do that, again, that's it. It's just a series of dots. Now, just by looking at this, this isn't too accurate. But let me show you how we can, instead of making these straight diagonal lines, I can actually curve them in any way I want, just by using this pen tool. So I can get the most precise line possible. All right, so here are the steps. First step that you want to do is you want to zoom in. So I'm zoomed in pretty well. That's good. You don't want to get any of this background. So my first dot, I will not click outside of my people. I'm going to click inside, right up close to the edge. I'm just going to click once. That's the very first step. You zoom in and you click once. Do you see that little dot right there? You guys see it? Yeah. All right. Now the next step, if I were to just click again, it would connect those dots and it would be a jagged line and we just cut off part of her hair. That's not good. So what I'm going to do, instead of just clicking with this tool, I'm going to click down on my mouse and I'm going to hold down on that click. I am not going to let go of the pressure that I have on the mouse. Everybody look up here. I'm still holding down on it. That's the key. So when you use the pen tool, you don't just click, you click and hold. Thank you, Siri. While I'm holding, I can actually, yeah, whatever.
I didn't get that.
Oh my God, go away. Now, when I click and hold, as I'm holding down, I can actually drag with my mouse and look what happens to that line. It curves. So I can actually follow the natural edge of her hair. I can get as close as possible to the edge without getting outside. But the key is I have to hold down pressure on this mouse. As soon as I let go of the mouse, when I move, I can't move it anymore. Right? So I'm going to go over that again. Here we go. I made 1 point. What do I do now? I click and hold. While I hold, I can drag the curve. When I'm done, when I find I did a pretty good job, I'm going to let go. Now, what happens is I have a path point right here, and then I have another point right here. These little guidelines, they kind of jut off on the side here and out here. They control the line that I'm about to make, right? They'll curve it. So if I make another point, look at it automatically curves because of this guideline right there. So I don't want Photoshop to automatically do it. I want the control again. The next step, you hold down a key on the keyboard, and that key is the Option key. The Option key is kind of next to the space bar, just right down there at the bottom. If I hold down on the Option key, and if I click on this last point that I made, when I click with the Option key held down, that guideline goes away. Okay? So I don't have to hold down Option anymore. I don't have to do anything. It just goes away. And I can just go forward and I do it again. Click and hold. As I'm holding, I can drag this curve. When I'm done, I let go. What key do I hold on the keyboard? I hold down the Option key and I click on this point right here, not on the guideline up here, not on the guideline down here. I click on the point with the Option key held down and it goes away. That's it. Click and hold. As I'm holding, I drag. When I'm done, I let go of my drag. I let go of the mouse. And I hold down the Option key and I click on that last point. Click and hold. Drag. I know it's a lot of steps, but trust me, as you do this, you're gonna get used to it. Like, it's gonna be like, you know, trained memory in your hand. You will remember this. After the first day, you'll be good to go. It's just the first time. It just takes a while to get used to the steps. And that's why I'm gonna write them down on the board, okay? And your job is to go around your people in the photo all the way. Now on some of this, like her hair, no one's ever gonna miss this. So I'm just gonna lob it off. I'm gonna do my best. Hair's tough. Maybe even zoom in a little bit better. Not getting the outside. But getting as close to the outside as possible. Using the pen tool, again, it takes some time, but once you get used to it, you can go really fast. And a photo like this will take a long time to do, but in the end, we can literally cut these people out of their background, and no one will ever know where they used to be. Now, if you make a mistake, like that, in Photoshop, you have what's called the history window. It's right here at the top of your windows. If you can't find it, all you have to do is go to Window and click History. What happens is Photoshop literally writes down everything that you do. So if you make a mistake, you can just go back one step to before you did that mistake. Minimize the history window again, and you're good. No one's going to care about this. See, I went all the way there. You're going to go down here. I'm going to go here, up, all the way around. All the way until you get to the end. Just like that. Now, I definitely skipped ahead there, but you guys get the idea. Okay? Any questions on how to use the pen tool? There's a couple other things, but I'm not going to show you right now. I just want you to get in the groove of using this tool. And again, I'm going to put the instructions up on the board. Let's get to it. Go find a picture.